Hello beautiful water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. We're going to read your tarot cards today for love, romance, sex, dating, all those fun topics. Please come into the reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside. They may resonate for you at a later date, so you may choose to revisit them. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. All that being said, let's try and have some fun and get you some helpful, insightful messages. Here we go for my water signs. So the first message I get for those who are kind of dating or early on in a relationship, someone may share some news with you that their feelings are just kind of not there. You may get a message, and it might be disappointing that it comes via text, but this person ultimately shares that they're just not in it the way they hope to be. The thing is, I see it being kind of honest and respectful as much as you can via text. I think some of you would have hoped for an in-person thing or something where you meet up, but I don't know. I think somebody shares that their feelings are not all in and they wanted to let you know and be respectful of you and your time. I know that's a harsh message to start with, but that being said, it feels like it's done in an appropriate way as best this person can. So don't let that get you down. You're being asked to very freely and quickly release the past, with judgment coming up down here. And then what you need to embrace is the idea of a new start. The Ace of Coins. Aces are very lucky cards. They're beautiful new blessings. With the Ace, it's earth energy, so it's like a stepping stone. It's like a brick. It's something you can it's tangible. You can reach out and build with it, right? So with that, there could be potentially a new earth sign that's trying to find its way into your life romantically or dating. Others of you, it just means you're starting down a new path. I don't get the impression that this relationship was necessarily tremendously long. I suppose it could have been for some of you, but I don't see this as being completely shocking either if something does come to an end. Because I see you struggling to know where this person was at. They weren't really sharing their feelings with you or being as open and transparent as you would like. I don't think they tried to keep you guessing or were playing games. I think it took them longer to understand what they were feeling and if they were feeling it in this relationship and with you. And so I think this person is trying to let you down gently. With the Three of Swords coming up, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of upset feelings or a little bit of feeling like a shift or an imbalance or maybe some uncomfortable, awkward energy, but it doesn't necessarily have to last. I think a lot of you are being asked to examine past relationships and how you've reacted in the past, and maybe you felt like you've punished yourself or you've isolated yourself or you've beat yourself up or maybe you've been rebounding. Whatever it is, you're being asked to look at past behaviors and change your response, change your pattern of behavior. Look at it as another thing you can attribute to an experience and a lesson and how you're going to approach things in the future. I really don't think there's a lesson of you did something wrong. I think it's just that thing of some people you have chemistry with and some people you don't. And water signs, you've definitely been with people who you didn't feel it for, right? And it sucks being in that position where you have to let someone down, and it also sucks being in that position where maybe you do feel a little bit rejected, but so is life. So we don't have to let those negative feelings overpower us. We have to learn to move through them, gracefully with our dignity, right? And I think you will. I think some of you just needed to be reminded of that. So that's the first message. Let's see what else we can get from this. So a similar message I just read, I believe, for the earth signs. Some of you are in a partnership and the honeymoon phase is over, and it's sort of like you have to work to get that passion back. It's not that there isn't reciprocated feelings for some of you. It has to do with the fact that you just need to change it up and mix it up a little bit, because things have kind of gotten, not stale, but ordinary, ho-hum. You've fallen into the patterns and rhythms of life and, work and balancing, whatever it is, kids and that. And some of you, it's you're just not feeling the way you used to, but it is fixable. With the Three of Swords, it's your heart is maybe in a different place and requiring, it's like you have to tend to it differently. Establishing greater balance so that you can make time for this relationship and make this relationship a priority the way it used to be. But it does have to do with sort of restructuring and reorganizing your day, or I don't know if it's your life. That sounds kind of drastic, but there's a chance with Judgment to kind of revive this relationship and start anew, but something does need to change. So if nothing changes, what is that expression? You're always going to get what you always gotten. So if you take the path less traveled, or implement some new routine, or just start that conversation, there's hope. There's a golden opportunity to build again, or start anew. That to me just seems like you guys are both a little bit jaded by like work stuff. So when you come home, you're exhausted. So you don't have that same like desire to, do all the fun things that you do with your partner. So it's a little lukewarm. Again, not the most exciting message, but hey, still a message that maybe someone needs to hear. Some of you are still very much holding on to a person from the past and you haven't fully healed from it. And so that is impacting your ability to move forward in finding new relationships or new partnerships. Even if you have been casually dating or hooking up or looking out for other options, even when you're putting yourself out there, a lot of you are frustrated because, again, it's that kind of lukewarm, like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, when am I going to feel that same passion? And for a lot of you, it's like energetically, you still have this connection or this connection. There's another word I'm searching for, but to the past. And so for some of you, I'm hearing the word cord cutting. So symbolically, for those who are into like kind of the spell work or rituals, you may want to do something where you quite literally sort of sever a tie or cut a rope, letting the universe know that you are ready to move forward. But like, you can't just do it to go through the motions. Like you have to actually put it into practice, that you're opening your heart up and ready to receive love from someone else and to give love to someone else, without sort of the shadow or the expectation of what used to be in a former relationship that maybe you put on a pedestal. I think a lot of you still look back to the past and view this person as like your soulmate. With Judgment coming up and what you need to release, it's the idea of something from the past maybe coming back in as a viable candidate. I'm not saying it could never happen, right? This is one tarot reading, but in this spread specifically, it's like there's something new that's trying to come in, but it can't, because it's like you have this tie, this pull, this connection to the past, and like, so you're not fully present when you're going out and meeting new people, because it's like that ex or that person is always still in the back of your mind. Does that make sense to anyone? And I'm not judging you, I'm not shaming you, but I am letting you know that like that is hindering sort of like a really strong connection coming in. It's like the universe is like breadcrumbing you. It's like it's showing you that like, yeah, there's other options out there. They're not necessarily delicious, but it's like hopefully eventually you'll get the idea that once you're in this new pattern of dating, that there are other people out there and good connections to be made, but you have to be willing to let go of this thing of the past. I don't necessarily. I heard the word Scorpio or Sagittarius, so it may be one of those signs. Possibly Gemini or Aquarius. What else can you tell me about this? Or for some of you, it's an earth sign, the King of Coins. Some of you are grieving the loss of a father figure or a paternal figure. It doesn't quite literally have to be like by blood, but some sort of mentor or coach or someone you looked up to. It could be a grandfather figure. It is more masculine energy, but it could have been a family member who passed away, or someone who you had a very strong, intimate connection with who is no longer in the picture for some reason. Maybe you moved far away. You're missing that connection, but again, it's sort of like the negative side of that is like, there's a lot of grief and anguish and pain and upset, but we're not doing anything to cathartically like work through that and I don't want to say replace it with positive energy, but as cheesy as it sounds, take something negative and turn it into a positive, right? Gratitude. That's usually one of the key equations or solutions, really. It's understanding that, well, I'm so thankful that this person was in my life for a bit, and that there's a lot of wisdom and things that they passed on to me. There was a lot of value in that relationship, and I'm so grateful for it, and I take that with me wherever I go. I actually feel like that's really symbolic too, because releasing something of the past that has to do with this King of Pentacles. Maybe it's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It doesn't really matter. Again, it could be a father, mentor figure. Understanding that you took something away from that relationship that can never be lost. It's inside you. It's a part of you. It's almost like part of your DNA, right? And so you take that with you in new relationships, but you're taking like the good. You're taking like the seeds that can be nurtured and can, spawn fruit or blossom or bloom into something new and something positive. You're not taking like the yucky negative feelings or feelings of loss or resentment or whatever it is, right? I mean, the Three of Swords ultimately is a card that says to me healing is needed. So for my water signs this week, it might be doing some soul work of looking at kind of the yucky stuff that's clogged up in you, soul-wise or spiritually, and kind of mucking things up and trying to make a plan or a strategy to move past it, to think through it, to work with what you have. And, Page of Swords can be a card of things nagging at you. It can also be a card of, exercising and working things out energetically, especially via writing and communicating. Some of you may be sharing a very triggering experience with a friend or a therapist or something of that sort, but I think that's good because you're getting it up and out. You're not just letting it fester inside. Four of Cups is Moon in Cancer, so the tendency of that can be very intuitive when it's vibing high, but it can also be kind of moody and crabby and, again, not expressing things that need to be expressed in order to get to that kind of bridge of healing and working through some stuff. Let's throw one on this Ace of Coins. It's funny, this is the second reading I did for my water signs because my first one just felt off. But to be honest, the messages were actually kind of similar. So I'll probably end up posting both. So look out for 2 videos for the water signs. But I was having doubts like, gosh, this just doesn't seem right. But honestly, I think this week anyway, right? This is just a weekly reading. The water sign seems to be struggling with something, yeah? Again, 5 of Cups is kind of that crying over spilt milk and what's been lost versus understanding that there is something to be gained from this experience. I mean, the sun is shining here, but we have our back towards it. So can we embrace the light side of the scenario? Can we embrace the potential and the opportunity to grow and build elsewhere, to connect with new people, rather than lingering on the relationship that we've lost? In terms of building forward, putting your best self out there, the Page of Cups I see as someone who's very, a hopeless romantic, romantic, poetic, artistic, musical, very sensitive, animal lover, things of that sort. It's a page though, so it's saying like, you might not be ready to take the reins of a full-on, long-term commitment, serious relationship right now. It might be dipping your toe back in the water. You're very sensitive this week, very sensitive to other people and their energies. Again, you're holding on to something in your heart, whether it's someone you love or someone who rejected you, that it's still a little bit triggering. So watch your drinking, quite frankly, or substance abuse of any kind. Or addiction issues, food addiction, shopping addiction, just because you might not be vibing high and you may be looking to suppress what you're feeling by indulging in things that aren't necessarily good for you. Just going to put that out there. But with the Page of Cups, yeah, it's dipping your toe back in the water. It's getting comfortable with the idea of dating again. Maybe some of you are putting yourself out there. Again, it's a new beginning, but it might come in slowly because I think the universe is trying to pace it out for you because despite what you may think, I think, God, source, spirit, universe, your angel team, your angel gang, whoever's looking out for you understands you're not quite ready for like the big one yet. So you may be trying people on for size, right? Testing out the waters. The Two of Swords says to me like there's still work to be done internally. Resetting yourself, Moon in Libra is what this card is. So again, finding internal balance before we go out in the world trying to find our person. I know, I wish I had like amazing messages for you this week. I mean, I think these messages are what most of you needed to hear, even though it's not like super confirmations on people that you're dating. I mean, you have a lot of pages, you have a lot of early stages, right? You have 2s, you have 4s, you have the 5, you have the 3. So it's like, we're getting out there, but it's taking some time, and with that, I think it's important to know, like, healing isn't linear. We're going to have, peaks and valleys, strikes and gutters, right? Just when we think we're on the right track, we may encounter something or someone that triggers some emotions in us that weren't necessarily expected. And so we may feel like there's a delay or a setback. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not falling behind, you're being guided here. So do have faith that there's something higher looking out for you. And I think it's important to say too, like, rejection is a form of protection. Really honor and understand that. There's some quote or a gif I saw or something. It's about the universe with the idea of, like, I heard what they were saying when you weren't in the room. And I think that's important. Like, really let that settle in. Like, you weren't necessarily privy to all the information in a partnership. And so you're looking at the highlights and the good stuff, but you didn't necessarily know with complete truth and honesty what was actually going on behind the scenes. It could have been that this person was entertaining the idea of dating someone else, or maybe they flat out were. The thing is, you water signs are very intuitive, so I don't think you were completely oblivious to the fact that there was something they weren't sharing with you, but that was the issue. There was like secrets or something that wasn't being put on the surface. And so with that, trust that the universe is looking out for you. Deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in a relationship. And that could be you too. With this, the idea, I get that you're putting yourself out there because you're wanting to just get back into a relationship. Again, maybe to kind of numb the pain of having to think about a person from your past. But with that, are you really being your authentic self? Are you really putting yourself on the line and putting yourself and your heart out there for other people to, to experience? Or is there this masking? Is there this, I'm hearing bulletproof, this need to protect yourself from vulnerability and hurt again, in which case you're not really having that leap of faith that, yes, I'm ready and I'm protected. So I just realized I have my dehumidifier going, so there's like a really annoying sound in the background. I'm sorry about that. I usually remember to turn it off, so if that's, I'm sure that's what you're hearing, but anyway, apologies for that. Maybe that's metaphoric though. Maybe there's this little buzz in the back of your head and it's annoying and it's aggravating. You're trying to get rid of it. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. That's Page of Cups, right? That's kind of this sticky, sweet, I think I love you even though I just met you 2 hours ago, right? So be careful with that. Proceed with caution, but be your authentic self. The worst thing you can do is enter into relationships and be overly guarded. You need to protect your energy, but I feel like we need a little bit more optimism here. And then pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. All right, I'm going to give you an angel number 2. Water signs, hang in there this week. I'm giving you a big energetic hug. I feel like you guys need that. My light is bothering me. All right, for my water signs. Whoops. Oh, you got a whole bunch. 11, I am intuitive. So look for these numbers on like license plates, receipts, phone numbers, texts, whatever it is, clocks. I am intuitive. You are. I have a keen awareness of what is happening around. A strong intuition is your gift and will help you understand the unspoken feelings and thoughts of others. This insight allows you to be a great guide and supporter. Ooh, look at that, all the ones. 111. Angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe a life that you love. And it says, I am creative. Again, Page of Cups, beautiful energy. Throw yourself into your artwork, right? That's where you can kind of like get those feelings up and out in a safe, healthy way. And you may just create a beautiful piece of art or poetry or writing. Page of Swords. And then 99, I am courageous. It is time to get to work on the realization of your soul's mission in life. You have a higher purpose in this life that is yours and only yours to fulfill. Unleash your true power. All right, beautiful water signs. Thanks for joining me for this tarot reading. Please remember to like the video, guys. That really, really does help me on YouTube gain traction and get these messages out there. Subscribe to the channel, book a personal reading if you so desire. There's information on how to do that down below. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.